Israel 2025, a year of war, deterrence, and hard clarity. January began with a ceasefire. Hostage and prisoner exchanges followed. The world rushed to declare momentum. Israel treated it for what it was, a narrow window to recover its people. By February, reality returned. Terror attacks resumed, knives in Tel Aviv, rockets still looming. March ended the illusion. On March 18th, Israel launched Operation Might and Sword. This was not revenge, it was not symbolic. The objective was precise: break Hamas's ability to govern Gaza, dismantle its command structure, and force the release of hostages by applying sustained military pressure. Hamas had used the ceasefire to regroup. Israel removed the option. Airstrikes intensified, ground operations followed. Hamas leadership began disappearing. In May, Israel eliminated Mohammed Sinwar, Hamas's Gaza chief and the brother of Yahya Sinwar. This mattered. He was not a field commander, he was a central node keeping Hamas functioning under pressure. His death accelerated Hamas's internal collapse. That same month, the war widened dramatically. A Houthi missile launched from Yemen struck near Ben Gurion Airport. Civilian flights halted, Israelis were injured. This was no longer a Gaza war. This was Iran's proxy network testing Israel's red lines directly. June shattered the regional balance. On June 13th, Israel struck Iranian nuclear and military targets. Senior Iranian leadership was killed, including IRGC Commander-in-Chief Hossein Salami, Armed Forces Chief of Staff Mohammad Bagheri, senior IRGC commanders, and nuclear scientists were eliminated. This was decapitation, not messaging. And Israel was not alone. The United States joined the fight. American forces struck Iranian nuclear facilities and provided direct military support to Israel. This was the most significant Western military action against Iran in decades. Here, though, is the part that matters. Nobody came to Iran's aid. No allies, no coalitions, no proxies. Iran launched ballistic missiles at Israel, killing civilians, and attempted a retaliatory strike on a U.S. base in Qatar that was intercepted. That is what strategic defeat looks like. A regime that can fire missiles but cannot rally a single ally when it matters. The 12-day war ended on June 24th under a Trump-brokered ceasefire. Deterrence was restored because force had been applied decisively. Summer brought no quiet, though. Operations in Gaza continued, UN agencies complained, NGOs issued reports, and the IDF kept dismantling tunnel networks and command cells. Hezbollah violations persisted in the north. Israeli airstrikes in southern Lebanon continued in response. September, though, marked another escalation. The IDF launched a major ground offensive in Gaza City. This was not clearing operations, this was full-scale maneuver warfare. Air, sea, and ground forces converged. Gaza City is Hamas's operational heart. Tunnels, logistics, command bunkers. Israel made clear there were no sanctuary zones left and no rebuilding corridors remaining. By October, Israel reached a moment the world said would never happen. On October 13th, every living hostage was returned to Israel under a ceasefire agreement. Celebration and grief collided. Murdered hostages were returned later in stages. One remains in Gaza still, Ran Gvili. The war never fully closes while one Israeli is still held. November reinforced a different truth. Israel continued to investigate itself, even during war. A senior military legal official admitted to leaking classified footage. Accountability did not stop because the country was fighting for survival. That is the difference between Israel and its enemies. December closed the year with strategic positioning. Israel banned compromised aid agencies from Gaza, recognized Somaliland as an independent state, deployed the Iron Beam laser defense system, announced a $110 billion investment in domestic arms production, continued striking Hezbollah in Lebanon as ceasefire violations persisted. Israel ended 2025 not exhausted, but recalibrated. Its enemies lost leaders, infrastructure, and deterrence. Iran stood alone, Hamas was shattered, and Israel kept bringing its people home. So the only real question now is not what 2025 was, it is what 2026 brings.